Hey everybody, welcome back to our Fight Night Imperial Assault series. I'm Zach.
And I'm Tim.
And game one was, if you don't know what the Fight Night is and you didn't catch game one yet, I recommend starting there. We explain what this whole Fight Night thing is and what's going on. But basically, me and Tim challenge each other to a best of three series Imperial Assault. This is game two. Second map. Which map was it?
This is the Moisture Farm.
And
is the scenario close to home.
Okay, so map is, we're using all three of the active maps and the second game here. Close to home. Moisture Farm is the map. Got picked and close to home randomly. We picked our list before knowing what the map and scenario were. So what list were you running in game two?
I was running a variant on a Luke Sabs list.
Okay.
It was Luke with two elite saboteurs and
I like how you say Luke.
Two elite saboteurs, a non-elite saboteur, R2, 3PO, Gideon, Mac, and then one more.
No.
Luke, Sab, Gideon, R2, 3PO, Mac. Yeah, that's it. That's the list.
40 points of glory right there.
40 points of glory. That's what I like to call the list. That's the name.
So I've been told, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, Luke's pretty good.
Luke is very strong.
Saboteurs are pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
R2 and C3PO are worth their points.
They ain't bad.
What is there anything in particular that made you run this list? Have you seen it somewhere?
The national championships this year, the runner-up was running the same list minus 3PO and R2D2.
Because it wasn't out yet?
Because it wasn't out yet. He had Jin Odan in there. And I was like, I want to run 3PO and R2D2 because they seem pretty good. And so I tried to find 5 points. I went back and forth on what I was going to drop. And then I just decided to drop Jin so I could keep my activation count high.
Yeah, because I remember us playing a few weeks back and you actually had Jin in there. She knocked off Boba Fett. That was a bummer.
She's pretty good. But so are 3PO and R2D2.
Okay, so that's what you're running.
That was what I was running.
Yeah.
Pretty standard command deck as well. Heavy weaponry cards.
Devotion to get a command card of, I don't know, Son of Skywalker for Luke. Son of Skywalker, probably take initiative. I don't know, urgency, the good stuff.
The good cards.
Cool. Well, I was running quite the list. At first, when the whole second wave basically was coming out, I was pretty nonplussed on Kane. Kane Somos, he's a trooper. It's cool, it's whatever. And then he came out and I got his command cards and I started looking at him. I painted his model and I saw the heavy stormtroopers and I started thinking there's something here.
There's a lot of what I like to call synergy.
There is a lot of synergy. Now, I will say going into this game, stormtroopers are slow. So that's a concern of mine. I have a couple officers. And not only are they slow.
What was your list?
My list was Kane. It changed a lot at the end. Kane, an EWEB, an elite heavy stormtrooper, a regular squad of stormtroopers, and then I think 2 officers. Okay. I think that's roughly what it was. So a lot of guys.
A lot of models.
A lot of
white models out there.
It is very bright. It was cool. It was a cool looking, just a bunch of stormtroopers, which you'll see in a minute. But yeah, I wanted to play with the troopers and kind of see what I could do. And my nervousness going in, because they're slow, was to get a scenario that required a decent amount of movement, or wanted you to get pretty far. Because even with an officer, you're only moving 9 on your first turn with most of those stormtroopers.
Yeah.
The heavy stormtroopers can shoot for a really long way. The EWEB can shoot a really long way and do a lot of damage. But at the same time, there is a little bit of a concern there. So
it's also, troopers like to be next to each other to get all those lovely rerolls.
All the stormtroopers, yeah. But Kane's ability and Kane's command card.
All of those things.
All that stuff, yeah.
But I have Blast on my list.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
Which could be a problem for a swarmy list. And the other thing I do have are command cards that allow me to activate multiple times. Mm-hmm. Where it's like you go with stormtroopers, you go with someone else, you can stand a card with Kane. So there's different positional tricks that can be used there, but that's definitely going to be my concern going into the game.
My list is just going to spread out.
Yeah, and do what it does. All right, well, any other thoughts before we dive into the game?
I think it's time to head to the booth.
All right, thank you guys for watching. We're going to pass it over to Zach and Tim in the booth. All right, welcome back to Game 2 of Fight Night. I am Zach.
And I'm Tim.
And I am playing here on the left using a Trooper Swarm list.
I am playing the Rebel Blast list modification since the R2D2 and C3PO came out.
Luke and some Saboteurs using the droids that we were all looking for. So Basically, I got really pumped when we were doing the unboxing for Kane Somos and decided to use him in a game, having never actually fielded a trooper list in Imperial Assault.
Well, so, they're pretty straightforward.
Yeah, about that.
Shoot things.
Anyways, I have Kane, I have 2 Imperial officers, I have a regular group of Stormtroopers, I have 1 E-Web, I have a unit of heavy Stormtroopers, and an elite unit of heavy Stormtroopers bringing in Blast, and about to see how this goes.
Yeah, and I'm running Gideon, Mac, R2, C-3PO, Luke, and 2 Elite Saboteurs and 1 non-Elite Saboteur.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this in the pregame, but this is the first time I've ever used a trooper list, and you can see here I am making a tremendous number of mistakes.
Already.
Just out the gate. So we are playing the close to home scenario, and if you look, there are 4 crates on the board. If you control a crate at the end of the round, you can put your token on it and score 6 points.
7 points.
7 points. Math. So you can essentially accumulate 28 points from those alone and then only need to destroy 12 points of enemy models to basically win the game. Not basically, but actually win the game.
That is how the math works.
And so looking at the troopers, one of their big limitations is their speed. They're not very fast. The E-Web's slow. The heavy Stormtroopers are slow. The regular Stormtroopers aren't that fast. And so on a map where you're going to have to be contesting zones to not just give your opponent points, looks like I'm going for a wild shot here. Kane shooting at the Saboteur, getting on it.
Why not?
2 blues and a green, got the range, and you block a damage and a surge. I think it's going to be
1 or 2
1
damage?
or 2 damage, yep.
Looks like 1
and
3 damage.
Not 3 exactly damage. I mean, it's fine. But I have 2 officers in this list, and the reason for that is to help me with some of the speed issues on maps like this. I chose
to move that E-Web around some.
I chose to use it in the secondary method, which is moving the E-Web to get the E-Web into place to start shooting some things. The problem with that is, and I realized it about at this point in the game, is that I'm going to be out of position. I'm really only going to be able to contest 2 of the zones. I'm going to hand you 2 just because of pure speed limitations. And that's 14 points guaranteed. And if you can actually defend this crate on the bottom here, you could potentially get 3 of the 4 crates on the first turn.
It's possible.
So we'll see what happens, but I immediately recognized the problem after going with my fastest units and my officers.
And not making it to the crate.
And not making it to the crate. Look, he's still not next to that crate up there. Oh, man. Deciding which way to position the trooper, because that's going to matter.
It's important.
So I do have initiative here. I mean, I was first. And
C-3PO, focus on that Saboteur.
What's your... I mean, I feel like troopers want to kind of... I have so many guys, and you have such heavy blast.
Yeah, I think my list has an advantage here because your list synergizes next to each other,
yep.
And my list punishes people that stand next to each other.
I'd be curious...
Especially when they're rolling black dice.
I'd be curious to have seen this match on the previous map.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Fleetfoot again, a gain in movement here with the E-Web, spending more movement on the E-Web. He's going to come around now. That will allow me to contest that crate as long as the E-Web is still there.
E-Web for life.
And potentially score those points. There goes R2 sliding around, which is the greatest thing you can possibly do. And I think he just accesses the terminal to gain a command card. He has an action, and he can just draw you a command card. He's next to a terminal.
Pretty good ability, Zach.
You want to talk about R2 and C-3PO being some of the best units in the game?
They're bonks. C-3PO is 2 points, and he is the most annoying figure because no one wants to ever shoot him.
Yep. Rolling a white die so he could get a dodge.
And he has cower.
He has cower, and he
has distraction.
Anything he's next to gets a free surge block.
Which is just so annoying, so you need to take him out.
And he can give a focus to something he's next to as an action.
Correct.
He's the worst.
It's just 2 points of goodness. And then R2 is just the command card king.
Yep. Also annoying to shoot because his blank on his white die counts as a dodge, so he has a 1 in 3 chance.
Lucky.
He is lucky. Looks like I'm trying to take him out right now. I just shot at him. I do not like you being able to roll that many command cards is not healthy for me. So I'm bringing a stormtrooper around here, going to be shooting R2.
Blocking 2 surges.
All right. Looks like just 3 damage straight up. Now R2 only has 6 health, which is actually a lot.
Only has 6 health.
But at the same time, at this point, he's two damage away from going out of here. And then this is just unfortunate positioning. You have blast, and part of it is I want my troopers next to each other so they can reroll. But deciding where to basically go here, and that's as far as I can get and shoot. So if I want to shoot at R2, that's where he has to stop.
Did you forget that my dudes can ignore models for line of sight? My saboteurs?
Did I forget?
On your positioning here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and he has a 1 and 3. You can kind of see my troopers no matter where you get. That's the thing about it. It's like so this is a vulnerable position, right? Because you're doing exactly what you're doing here, which is bringing in your 5-speed saboteur and shooting my middle stormtrooper probably. Yeah. All right. This could go poorly for me. We'll see how the roll goes. Stormtroopers roll a black because they have armor.
Saboteur as well.
A lot of dice. 2 blocks. Dose on the blocks, and that's bad news. You have enough to kill the stormtrooper and 2 surge.
So I can blast 2 twice.
So you can, because
dead.
They can trigger their surge ability twice. You literally just killed an entire group of stormtroopers with a single shot.
Yeah, you know what we call that?
A bum dizzle.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And I mean, it showcases the kind of a problem with the trooper mentality where they're next to each other because they're re-rolling, but you still have to have enough movement to be not next to each other after you're done. Double surge is brutal. Getting some damage in, hiding back behind that pillar. But I mean, yeah, you just nuked I was able to get rid of R2, but then you just nuked all of my stormtroopers in a single shot.
It's a fair trade. They're about the same points, right?
Heavy trooper coming in to contest. He's a little beefier. Not the same points, by the way.
Oh, yeah. One is worth double.
Oh.
That's what I want.
Dodge City. Not what I want.
No, I have number 1.
So I'm not feeling so great about this. I mean, I've only lost the thing of stormtroopers, but you've lost an R2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's just over or anything crazy.
It's not over.
But it's not feeling great. I got the E-Web into position and maybe take some shots this next turn. That is so many dice. Is that Luke?
Yeah,
that's a focus Luke.
Luke.
Yeah. And he'll be seeing you at the lunch table next week.
So he takes 7 damage, 1 away from dead.
They are...
I'm Son of Skywalkering.
Man, you're using Son of Skywalker and the Saber Strike here to get rid of this unit. And I think the reason you're really doing this is it means I'm not going to be able to contest that crit.
Correct. It's 7 points plus I'm getting rid of a unit.
You're getting rid of a model. Yeah, and you're scoring the points. So I question that decision in the game, but it feels pretty okay at this point. And I'm getting that crate on the top left here. See, I put the blue token on it. And I'm at 10 points.
I'm going to take the other 3 crates this turn for a total of 21 points.
What are you talking about?
27 because I killed that unit.
All right. So that doesn't feel good in the morning. All right, so Tim is 13 points away from victory, and this is going to make it a tight rope for me to walk. Be almost impossible, really, because you don't need to kill that much stuff to win here. Okay, perfect.
I'm using a heavy weapon.
Plus 4 damage, so he's going to do an incredible amount of damage to my E-Web. Looking at my hand just in case. 1 block. And see you later. All right, Tim is at 33 points. Oh, man. And I think we are seeing very quickly the...
Now, this is the list that I've played the most in this game.
Yeah, and it's a very good list. And I'm playing my list very poorly. But I think what I feel like, here comes more trouble.
Activating another unit of saboteurs.
Yep.
That card is real good, Zach.
What I seem to just, again, we say a lot, command cards win games, and I think this is showcasing it brilliantly. Beyond my bad position and my bad use of my list, the saboteurs have command cards that just allow for such impactful moments. Like even the plus 4 damage there against the E-Web, being able to take an E-Web down in a single shot with a saboteur, which essentially costs you 2.5 points, is really an incredible exchange. That seems okay. And the troopers got with Kane a decent amount of command cards that are pretty good, but they also are lacking ways to draw command cards. Like you drew extra with R2, You have the droid card that lets you search for the named thing. Devotion. And because of their lack of... It's really their movement compared to their durability that's the problem, right? They can't move very fast, and they can die quickly. So, like, what is going on here? But I think with... Oh, and there you go. That's is the game. We are going to head back out for the post-game analysis. Thank you guys for tuning in.
What a game.
No.
What a game.
That was so bad.
Man, that was some epic play by that Tim Bunn there.
Yeah, I mean, you crushed me. Like, if the first game was really good, but the second game, you just... I think about things happened here, right? Like, I could say, I really hadn't used troopers before, and and I could also say, man, that scenario really wants you to move around a lot.
I think you're saying both of those things, actually.
But I'm gonna not say it. I mean, I'm saying them now. I could say those things, but that's not what happened, because something else happened, which is I played that completely wrong. Positionally, I played it wrong, using my officers to move the E-Web down the field to then just die. Wrong. I should have been way more concerned about the positioning of the scenario itself, stopping you from getting easy points, forcing some fire in the middle of the field, and even just the position of my 3 stormtroopers. You came in and wiped all 3 stormtroopers out in a single shot.
That's not what you want.
That's not what I want. I mean, I was trying to get rid of R2 because he was going to be a pain and going to keep being a pain and just kind of...
And you succeeded.
Yeah, because like the command cards, especially in the Luke list, because that's one of my favorite lists, Luke and Saboteurs of some mix. I know that some of those command cards for Saboteurs are just incredible. Whether it's the +4 damage, which we saw, or it's the extra blast. Add blast 1 to this attack, add blast 1 to this attack, and all of a sudden you're blasting for like 7. So R2 was a pretty big concern of mine in denying that spot.
Rightfully so.
And obviously for you to be able to do the splash damage, you needed the range, the hits, and the surge, the double surge to be able to double do it. But it was still just a lot of mistakes on my end, and I think that's a classic. Like, it's the first time I've ever run a list that didn't feature like a prominent person or two, right? Whether it's either Vader or Luke and Diala or whatever you want to call it.
Whatever it may be.
So there was just so many missteps on my end, but I learned a ton. I hope you did too from watching, and I think the troopers have some stuff going. Very excited to get the Snow Troopers in the upcoming Return to Hoth expansion. And can't wait to kind of see where the troopers end up. I think there's a lot better ways to play it. I know some local people have played it very well around here.
Successfully.
And what I did was not correct, but what Tim did was very correct. So hopefully something was learned there. Any thoughts or changes to your list on I would change some stuff before we dive over there for a second. I need faster stuff. Probably sliding in like a Royal Guard instead of the Elite Heavies, or somehow working it out where like I just have to have...
You have to have an answer for a scenario that requires that much movement.
100%. Yeah. So
that's
what about you?
Fair. I will.
I mean, it's hard to say.
I will be honest and say that is the list that I've played the most.
Yep.
In Imperial Assault, it's the one I've tested the most. It's the one that I'm the most familiar with. It's just there. It's just variant at that point.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very well rounded. It can deal with most threats. It can handle Vader if it needs to. It can handle a big guy like that Rogue Guard Champion or an ATST. But it can also play the scenario game because a lot of 5 speeds, a lot of movement, even Gideon boosting in with the movement, a lot of ways to add focus, C-3PO Gideon. It's just got a lot of tools to both either high damage or high defense or whatever
it's got a lot of white dice too.
Which can be Dodge City.
Which has
or not
the
Dodge
potential
City.
For a lot of swing, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. All right, any more thoughts on that game?
I mean, there wasn't much there to think about.
It's destroyed me. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't checked out Command Tokens yet, please do. Incredible. It just changes the whole game, way the whole game plays if you haven't witnessed it already in our games. Appreciate all the orders, all the support, and we'll catch you guys in Game 3.
See you guys on the flip side.
Please outtake that.